Metaphorical.
Pull it away a little bit. You want it further out or closer? In there? It's on.
Okay.
Be singing along.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And now our revered Guru commences his evening's program with a Sanskrit prayer.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we begin with mystic song by Sri Swami Lalitananda, being sung by and performed by Sri Swami Umananda.
The song for this evening is dedicated to Goddess Saraswati. It's entitled, O Holy Mother, Touch Me. Holy Mother, touch me. It is of you I dream, riding on a swan with snowy robe, with jasmine flowers on the vine. You play a divine melody. Om Saraswati Namah. Om Saraswati Namah. How I wander in this world without you, the rose will not bloom. I sail in the frozen land of time. My heart is sad. Remove my The sun and stars give me no rapture. Why are you ever hidden from my sight? Capture me with your music of wisdom. Oh, let me look to the beauty of your eyes. I adore you, oh Mother with shining jewel. The illusion of desert sand conceals you. Like the white mist of morning, you disappear. Bestow upon me that freedom of the wind. If I could only see your golden smile, let me keep your footprints in my heart. I must shine like the moon in blue skies. Oh, release me with a dewdrop of your grace. Om Saraswati Today is Friday, January 29th, 2021. Tonight, Swamiji will be lecturing on the Tulsi Ramayana. This is series 2016, class 237. And now our revered Guru.
Om Neelambujashyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panavu Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side. He is carrying powerful bow and arrow in his hands. All that is allegorical. Glory of God. Ramcharitmanas, Ayodhya Kand, verse number is 305. In a storyline, Bharata is about to depart from Lord Rama's ashram in the forest. He has been blessed with sandals of the feet of Lord Rama. But prior to departure, Bharata seeks Rama's guidance and instruction. राज काज सब लाजपति धर्म धरनि धन धाम गुरु प्रभाव पालिहि सबहि भल होहि परिणाम. And Lord Rama is telling Bharata that do everything under the guidance of Guru Vasishtha, and Parinam will be the best. The result of this will be the best. All the duties of your royalty, your righteousness, your dharma, fulfillment of your purpose, your home, your treasury, all will be well sustained by Guru. Subtle points. All these teachings are like fingers pointing to the role of Guru. Guru Prabhav. And in Hindu tradition, the very meeting with Guru begins with Sastanga Pranam. The devotee lies prostrate before his feet. 8 limbs of his body touch the floor. 8 limbs relate to 8 pashas. Astapasha, shedding Astapasha, 8 fetters. That's the beginning of meeting with the Guru, as well as if you go anywhere in sacred temples, Sastanga Pranam is usual tradition. But let me just enumerate the 8 pashas. 8 fetters are grina, contempt. Occasional contempt and fleeting contempt is perfectly okay. But not be tempted to have contempt-ridden heart. Next is lajja. Lajja is feeling shame, led by wrong association. People develop the illusion of glory and grandeur. In other words, there are some people who feel shy towards satsanga. If they happen to go to satsanga, they will hide it from others. As well as shy in such a way that satsanga doesn't seem to be a source of inspiration. So that type of weakness in one's personality, that's called lajja. Next one called bhaya, fear. If you are constantly gripped by fear, that obstructs your spiritual progress. Next is shanka, doubting mind. Next is jugupsa, gossiping habit. Next, kul, developing a form of vanity that will belong to a high family. You come through a great lineage. Sheel, and people who are proud of certain manners that they have developed in their lifestyle. Manners in putting on the hat, cap. So all that becomes a restriction in your mental advancement. And jati, that you belong to a particular class, brahmana, kshatriyas, etc. So these illusions, these called fetters, 8 fetters, and you have to go on shedding these fetters, and that's the purpose of bowing down or surrendering or prostrating before holy men and sacred temples. सहित समाज तुम्हारा हमारा घर बन गुर प्रसाद रखवारा मातु पिता गुरु स्वामी निदेशु सकल धर्म धरणी धर सेसु. By developing devotion to Guru and serving Guru, Rama is telling Bharata. And thereby Rama is giving you the wisdom of the role of Guru disciple. When Guru's grace showers, then you have spiritual benefit, whether you live in your palace Or you go to ashrams, visit sages in the forests. In all conditions, you are benefited. And conducting yourself in such a way that you receive blessings from mother, father, guru, and Lord and Master. The idea behind it, that thereby you are paying 5 debts. Every individual is as if indebted. Math, starting with Devarin, you pay debt to God. Rishirin, you pay debt to sages and saints. Pitririn, debt to forefathers. Nririn, debt to human beings. Pashurin, debt to all animals and birds. Bhuturin. Spiritual sadhana automatically harmonizes your soul in all levels, as if you are rendering service to the entire universe in all planes. So, Guru's anugrah is like Shesha serpent that holds the earth. And Guru's kripa is like that support. So tum karahu karahu mohu, tat taranikul palak hohu, साधक एक सकल सिद्धि देनी, कीरति सुगति भूतिमय बेनी. O Tat, O dear one, Rama is saying to Bharata, and you must realize this in the whole assembly before Rama, all people who have come from Janakpur, led by King Janaka, and all people who have come with Bharata from Ayodhya, and sages and saints, and up in the sky, gods. Such is this assembly. It is a setup of satsanga. Even if you find only few people in number, but satsanga is a magnetic pull. All gods hide and tower over you. And the whole world becomes alert, as it were. So, Bharata, you should do whatever Guru says, and also enable me to do this similar. Guru Agnya must be followed by both of us. You following Guru Agnya, you will be in Ayodhya, supporting the residents of Ayodhya under Guru's guidance. And it is Guru's support that will help my movement in the forest. Following Guru Agnya is the bestower of all siddhis. It bestows siddhi, kirti popularity. But whenever scriptures talk of popularity, as if you have go viral, it relates to blossoming with virtue. When a blossom wafts fragrance, it gains popularity. Ask the bumblebees. So that type of popularity is natural for those who are spiritually advancing. Their impact on the world is amazing, and no one is aware of. You must realize you are essentially divine. Every soul is a reflected sun, and the sun is God. Now, in every soul, when it starts making progress, it is inspiring so many souls automatically. This Godward movement has its radiation that touches every core of this universe. So vicharu sahi sankatu bhari, karahu praja parivar sukari, mati bipati sabahi muhi bhai, tumhi avadhi bhari badi kathinai. So, being separated from me, you will suffer from great stress. But continue to follow the instruction of Guru, and continue to promote harmony and peace in the family and among the subjects. In other words, spiritual movement gives you a mystic key of devotion to God. Devotion to God brings about a spontaneity in facing challenges of life. And the subtle point here is, when you face any challenge in life, your prayer goes after helping all souls. Every painful condition that comes to you, and you face it. Saints have faced their conditions, but it has inspired countless people. if the saints didn't have those terrible times. So, even in terrible time, the heart of a sage melts with compassion to countless people. जानी तुम्हें मृदु कहूँ कठोरा कुसमय तातन अनुचित मोरा हो ही कुठाए सुबंधु सुहाए ओड़ी हहीं हाथ असनिहु के धा खाए. Knowing you are soft-hearted, yet I am speaking of that which is distressing to you. During difficult times, the role of the brother is to do that which can stop. Even if we were struck with the lightning flash, even if we are struck by Vajra, that brotherly assistance, the subtle point here is the tenderness of the heart, and at the same time the allegorical talk about Vajra. Both blend in devotional movement. You are developing tenderness to such an extent that it cannot be easily described. You can't bear even that one little tear coming from anybody. But at the same time, your heart has the strength of not being defeated by the forces of darkness. In relation to the forces of darkness, your heart becomes more stronger than a thunderbolt. Nothing can strike it. Blending of two great qualities, being Vajra-like, stony heart, such a strength, just like a mountain, unaffected by anything, but unaffected by what? Forces of darkness, moha. But on the other side, forces of higher self, in relation to that, your heart becomes like a soft petal. Tender like a dewdrop, or like a soft petal, and strong like the Vajra. That's the quality of spiritual heart. सेवक कर पद नयन से मुख सो साहिब होई तुलसी प्रीति की रीति सुनी सुख विसराहि हहीं को सोई. Just like your hands, feet, and eyes. Let me put it another way. The verse is allegorical, that a devotee of God must serve God in every way possible. Just like in your body, your hands and feet and your eyes, they are all integrated, they help each other. Your hand brings the food to your mouth without having eyes in them. That's the power of love. Sabha sakal sunisra gubarabani prem payodhi abhiya janujan sani. These words of Rama, they brought great joy in the entire assembly. These words were like shower of nectar. Coming from the ocean of love. The entire society, all those who had come there, they entered into a kind of ecstasy. They all enjoyed Prem Samadhi. It was so profound that even Goddess Saraswati kept quiet. Bharatahi bhayaus param santoshu sanmukha swami vimukha dukha doshu mukha prasanna mana mita vishadu bhajanu gungehi gira prasadu. Bharata enjoyed great fulfillment, knowing that the Lord and Master Sri Rama was pleased with him. That understanding and that Rama didn't focus on, this is Bharata's own reflection, the Rama didn't focus on his weaknesses and his troubles. And he showered his compassion on him. This relates to sadhana for every aspirant. When you are developing Godward movement, offering prayer, O God, you must have a deep faith that God's love doesn't go after your defects. All your defects move away. All your sins, all your karmas, they stand quiet, and divine love works in a dynamic way. But if you have not developed the divine love, then all your defects as well as qualities, they are in mathematical order. And since they are so vast, it's difficult to ever be free of all your karmas, difficult to wash away all your sins, difficult to move away from all your limitations. But who cares? A reflected sun has a lot of limitations. But in relation to the sun, all limitations don't count. The reflected sun can assert, I am the sun. Bhakti and jnana are two-aspected movement. The reflected sun tells the sun, I am thine, I am thine. I love you. That's bhakti sound. And when it says, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that, it's jnana. Jnana and bhakti are two aspects. Kin sa prema pranam bahori, बोले पानी पंकरु हजोरी, नाथ भयउ सुख साथ गए को, लहू लाहू जग जन्म भये को. Bharata offered his pranams to Sri Rama with folded hands, and he said, O Lord, I have experienced amazing bliss by being related to you. I have attained the fruit, the goal of my existence. Ab kripal as jas ayasu hoi, karau shish dhari sadar soi. O compassionate Lord, now whatever you ask me to do, command me and I will follow your command. So avalamba deva mohi dei, avadhi paru pavam jahi sei. Give me that divine support so that during the time, during 14 years of dwelling in the forest for Rama, may I pass those 14 years in a joyous way. Deva Deva Abhishekahit Guru Anasasana Pai Aaneu Sab Tirata Salalu Tehi Kaha Kaj Kaha Rajai. O Lord and Swami, I need your instruction that I may take all those materials that I have brought for your coronation to be taken to a spot of pilgrimage center and that will become a source of a great pilgrimage. It's relating to Bharat Kupa, in storyline. Bharata had gone there with all the sacred waters and various materials that are needed for coronation. And now, since Rama will not be coronated, all those things Bharata asks his Rama's permission that may he take them into a sacred spot and make that spot mighty sacred. एक मनोरथ बड़ मन माही, सभय सकोच जात कहीं नाही. This is my one cherished wish, which I hesitate to express before you. Shri Rama asked, करहु तात प्रभु आय सुपाई, बोले पानी सनेह सुहाई. Oh brother, tell me, what is your wish? What do you want to do? Receiving his permission, Bharata said, Chitrakoot Suchi Balati Rathaban, Chitrakoot Suchi Thalati Rathaban, Kagamriga Sarasari, Nirjhara Girijan, Prabhupada Pankita Avani Visheki, Asiu Ayasu Hoi, Taavon Deki. Before I return to Ayodhya, may I have your permission, Bharata is saying, that I may visit all the places that you have sanctified by your stay. Sacred places touched by Rama, pilgrimage centers, forests, birds and animals, lakes and rivers, fountains and mountains. All this is a description of the world. The world contains, all these are vibhutis of God. When you have a devotional heart, you are looking for Rama's footprint. In a storyline, it was in one area where Bharata, etc. are going to enjoy. But we are not in a storyline all the time. In your life, you may begin your spiritual movement by going into select sacred places or where there is spiritual association. But as you advance, you must realize your bhavana is more important. All places, every day you live, you can make that day a sacred day. You may make it as sacred, as important as your birthday. You can make it any type of day. It is Janmashtami, it's Deepavali, it's Guru Purnima. Any day can be a sacred day. Any place can be a sacred place. Any association, even with flowers and birds and animals, you can be in tune with. Your heart may be inspired by God's presence. And that's the purpose of pilgrimage center and going after holy association. By doing so, you are building up that type of understanding that God who makes you thrilled in a particular center or in a temple, that God abides in every particle of this world. Ghat ghat mein hai Sai ramta, rom rom mein Ram rama hai, kan kan mein Ghanshyam basa hai. But this transition is progressive. Continue to avoid those associations that bring burden on your mind, bring stress and negativity, and keep you in a world of perspiration. And continue to lift up to that association. Again, associations are not physical objects around you. Same setting, physical setting, if your bhavana, your feeling becomes profound, even little birds around you, you suddenly what they sing can inspire your heart with divine music, as if you are listening to a great kirtan done by sages. So that's the ideal. The whole world must become expression of God's glory, called Vibhuti Yoga. That's what in the Gita you are led to study. Vibhuti. Avasi atri ayasudha siradharahu tat vigatam bhayakana nakarahu. Rama says to Bharata, and have darshan of Atri Rishi. And follow his instructions. Go ahead and enjoy your pilgrimage in this whole forest. By the grace of Atri Rishi, this entire forest has become giver of auspiciousness, is very sacred and beautiful. Atri Rishi, in storyline, is great sage. Mystic line, Atri, that type of association that negates the triad. Consciousness is a limited state of consciousness. Is to understand it, think of your dream. You are limited in three ways. The dream subject is not real. The dream world is not real. The dream experience is not real. All the three must be negated in order for you to wake up. So, negation is brought about by spiritual progress, devotion and wisdom. Atri is the parakastha, is the climax of that ideal. And Rama asks Bharata to follow the instructions of Atri. Hearing these words of Rama, Bharata was exceedingly delighted, and bowing his head before Rama's feet, भरत राम संवाद सुनि सकल सुमंगल मूल सुर स्वारथी सराही कुल बरसत सुर तरु फूल. At this stage of profound love being radiated by Bharata and Rama, that has drawn gods in heaven. They were so thrilled, they began to rain down flowers from a kalpavriksha tree. Raining down flowers refer to development of divine virtues. But virtues you develop in a limited way, then they are not from kalpaka trees. Virtues that you develop to have devotion and ultimately moksha, liberation. Those virtues that is leading you to liberation, they are from kalpaka trees. Same practice of humility. If you are doing it for succeeding in your business, it's good. But it's not from kalpaka tree. But if you are doing the same virtue to adore God and to develop Godward movement, now that virtue is from kalpaka tree. It is leading you to immortality. So these are subtle points involved in every little sentence. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Ram 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 Om Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras grace over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarupam Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Mm-hmm.